Good morning, Miss and my classmate. Today we are going to discuss about sustainable infrastructure, and this is our content. Firstly, I am going to talk about what is sustainable infrastructure. Sustainable infrastructure can refer to green or smart building. More broadly, it can encompass a wide range of initiative with a specific focus on energy, water and land management, green areas, smart technology and the use of sustainable, durable building materials. It can also refer to existing infrastructure which is retrofit, rehabilitated, redesigned and reused. And next slide. And whatever definition is used, sustainable infrastructure is generally considered to approach development from a holistic viewpoint and based on global and domestic sustainable development goals and durability, and having regard to social, financial and political issues, public health and well-being, as well as economic and environment concern. Next slide. The needs met by infrastructure. Creating sustainable infrastructure means thinking in social, cultural and dimensional terms. It means being aware of how infrastructure influence people's life quality. It is therefore important to identify the needs that infrastructure must meet. This can be grouped into a few archetypes such as landscape, transport, hydraulic and energy. Next slide. Landscape infrastructure is a system of open spaces in and around cities, providing a wide range of services to the urban community. Landscape infrastructure differs from other infrastructural systems in that it is not defined by its response to a specific demand. It is an alternative, flexible infrastructure with versatility as its inherent potential. It adds local identity, providing leisure opportunity. Next slide. What does landscape infrastructure support? Landscape infrastructure supports natural habitats and processes, providing water, food and material resources, while also mitigating and offsetting the negative impact of other infrastructure systems. And the transport infrastructure include structures and systems for the mobility of passengers and goods. It represents a basic catalyst for development, being closely related to the urban and rural economics feeding the city. Its strong physical presence and consequent territorial imprint pose a series of challenges, creating connection but also unwanted barriers between nature and local communities. Next slide, I'm going to talk about aim for sustainable transport infrastructure, avoiding, minimizing and compensating negative impact on individual communities and economic system as it expands, which respond to the need of satisfying the growing demand of users. Hydraulic infrastructure treats, collect and distributes drinking water, rainwater and wastewater. The availability of drinking water and managing wastewater has hydraulic being key factor for creating and developing human settlement. What does water infrastructure perform? Water infrastructure performs the function of extracting water from the environment, returning it with a minimal impact. Therefore, besides ensuring and optimizing the performance of networks and structure in planning sustainable water infrastructure, one must also include activity for managing water basins and natural processes to minimize the impact of construction works.
Next, energy infrastructure. Energy infrastructure manages and converts available natural resources into energy carriers like electricity, heat, and also fuel, distributing them to end user. Energy security and stability are essential for greater life quality, economic development, and a consequent social stability. However, energy production is currently the main source of greenhouse gas emission on the planet. Next, why does sustainable energy infrastructure should ensure constant and equal? Energy is at the core of all effort to ensure the sustainable and resilience of plants and their related industries. Sustainable energy infrastructure should ensure constant and equal access to energy, while also promoting an increased rational uses and more efficient practice. Next is a goal for energy infrastructure. The goal is to aim at using natural resources with a regenerative capacity, providing renewable and low-emission alternatives. Next, role of sustainable infrastructure. The role of sustainable infrastructure, be it physical, technological, road, or IT, is strategy and allow changing its ultimate purpose for being solely perceived as a means of transport, information, vehicle, or technological support. Infrastructure can become a real system that allows to rethink, know, and experience the territory and city at their fullest.
Policy measures can developing clear and supportive policy and regulatory frameworks and enabling environments to ensure that sustainability and resilience become embedded in planning and investment criteria, both for public spending and as a signal for private investment. Observing INDC commitments by implementation to domestic legislation to make emission reduction and reporting mandatory. There is including sustainability criteria in procurement process and investment plan. Next, information flows can publishing long-term infrastructure plans to help develop a clear pipeline of bankable projects for investors. Besides communicating the benefits of sustainable infrastructure, to develop standards and collect performance data to improve project comparability, future-proof investment, and share information about success and failures. Last, working collaboratively with other governing bodies vertically and across jurisdictions to help develop standards and collect performance data. Mobilizing finance can developing financial and tax incentives and financial support mechanism. It also can leveraging public funding and creating enhancement mechanism to attract private investment. Not only than that, mobilizing finance also can funding the upfront costs, which makes sustainable infrastructure project initially more expensive than conventional project. Mobilizing finance also can boosting capital markets and developing standards for green bonds. In conclusion, the development of sustainable infrastructure will require a combination of sustained support and participation at governmental level, commitment to public and private investment, and a legal and regulatory framework that permits growth whilst governing the social, economy, and environmental standards that are the basis of sustainability. That's all. Thank you.